guys, and welcome back to In the Spotlight. We are honored to have with us Councilman Constantinides, who's been at the helm for 4 years running District 22 right here, Astoria, Queens, and Long Island City, parts of
Woodside, Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, but a big part of the neighborhood is Astoria.
Well, welcome, Councilman. You're doing wonderful things. We love you. I mean, you've done so much for the community. And I don't really know where to begin, but I'd like to start with the ferry because it's very exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's always great to be back. Yeah, the ferry, is, for the first time in 80 years, Astoria has ferry service again.
So why 80 years? Wow.
I mean, we're a neighborhood surrounded by water, and it just makes sense. I mean, from the end of Astoria, it's 1,515 feet from the end of the House Cove Peninsula to Manhattan.
Amazing.
And now we can get there.
Yeah, awesome. And that's bringing a lot of people, more people into Astoria. Astoria is exploding, Long Island City. Even Woodside, now they're spreading out, Corona and Woodside.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the population growth here as far as, people just moving into the neighborhood.
I mean, we're seeing growth. I mean, a few years ago, Mayor Bloomberg talked about 1 million people moving into New York City. And it's how we do it the right way, right? It's how we build the transportation hubs like a new ferry service. We needed that. I mean, there's close to 1 million riders already on the citywide ferry. It's and I think it's exploded close to 2 million now, actually.
Amazing.
After Astoria came online. So it's really seeing this movement around the communities, and we want those we want those tourists, we want those tourist dollars coming here to Astoria, eat our great restaurants.
That's true. And you're doing
stuff.
great things for the community as far as the school district. So you've cleaned up a big mess in
PS2.
PS2. So you've cleaned up a big mess in PS2. Tell us a little bit about what happened with that.
Well, PS2, for the last 20 plus years, they've had a modular unit. So in addition to the building that's past its due date, these kind of units freeze. They get overheated in the summertime. They're not part of the regular building. So at PS 151 and at PS2, we've seen trailers removed. And so by 2021, there'll be a new addition on PS2. And for PS 151, there'll be an extension of their schoolyard, so the kids can play rather than being in trailers. It's an exciting time.
Tell me a little bit more about what else you're tackling with the school system.
And we've actually invested over $1 million every year. I knew the minute that I bought my cell phone, right, it was obsolete.
Oh my God.
So we've invested every year, smart boards, tablets, laptops, making sure our kids have the most up-to-date technology, and building new science spaces. We've invested over $1 million to build science labs in our schools so that every child can be invested in 21st century environmentalism and be part of helping to combat climate change.
You're doing wonderful things with PS2. Congratulations, and with the rest of the school district. Tell me a little bit about the environmental issues that you're tackling now with asthma.
And there are over 84,000 kids in the city with asthma, 7,000 hospitalized every year, and it's an epidemic. My son has asthma. Every morning when he's well, just when he's well, he has to take a special vitamin, he has to take a pill, he has to take an allergy medication. Then he gets to take another medication to settle his stomach, because you just ate all that stuff.
Right.
Then he eats breakfast.
Right.
Then he has to take, before he leaves the house, 10 minutes before he leaves the house, he got to put a nebulizer over his face and do budesonide every morning when he's well. When he's sick, add 3 more medications on top of that. We see our kids in our neighborhood miss 10 to 30 days of school a year because of asthma. And and the medication is expensive. Families having to make choices about, are we going to pay for the asthma medication this month, or are we going to pay our bills? It's something that we have to do better.
So you've introduced 2 bills for asthma.
Yes, we did 2. One, putting a nebulizer in every school. So if a child is in distress, they're not going to have to wait for EMS to show up to get relief. We want to try to avoid ER visits because it's the most expensive place to enter the healthcare system.
Of course.
But also, maybe they don't have. Maybe they're really in distress, and this will help them from something worse. And then, secondly, we want to map asthma. We want to know where are the worst pockets, how about age, race, geography,
and why are they having these health issues? We need to really get to the root of the problem instead of covering it up all the time with medication.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Astoria. I have another bill in the council to stop the power plants here from burning heavy oil. The power plants here in our community have burned over 27 million gallons of number 6 oil in the last 2 years. That's high on particulate matter, nitrous oxide, sulfur oxide, all the stuff that gets in your lung and helps cause asthma.
We're in the 21st century. We need to come up with new energy efficient ways, more natural sources, or we need to do something, and we need to educate the new generation.
Absolutely.
And you've done a lot of wonderful things with the park. Astoria Park is you're making a soccer field. You've introduced some new ideas. Tell us about that.
So, the soccer field's coming, right in the middle of the track.
Oh my God, I'm sure everybody loves that, because soccer is becoming very big, and a lot of the new migration, the people that have come here that live in Astoria, they all play soccer.
Yeah, I mean, look at, we have so many soccer clubs here in Astoria.
The Greeks, the Italians, the Albanians, everyone plays soccer.
Everybody
the
plays
Latin
soccer.
Americans, yeah.
But they have nowhere to play here. They either have to go over to Randall's Island, or they have to go to, far from St. Michael's, which is in Astoria itself. So here we'll have a soccer field in Astoria Park.
Beautiful.
Update the track. Rain gardens to capture all the water, because when it rains in Astoria Park, what happens is all that water goes down the hill, and all the runoff goes into the East River. So it's all that dirt, all the litter, everything that's in Astoria Park, imagine being washed out to the river, and then we have to clean up all that litter. So if we have the rain gardens to capture the water, it'll be better for the community.
And we also have to tell people to be careful to discard their trash, especially their plastic bottles, because it's very bad for the environment. Tell me some of the things that you're doing about that.
We've had cleanup we have actually a cleanup crew there with ACE, which is a great organization. They clean up on Shore Boulevard every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wonderful.
We have them on 30th Avenue. We have them on Ditmars, every day on Ditmars, because it's such a busy train hub. On 21st Street, on Steinway Street, on Broadway now on the weekends. We're trying to keep Astoria clean and tell people, pick up your litter.
Pick up your litter, because it's doing bad not only to the environment, it's doing bad to the humans, to the animals. Animals are eating these things, and we don't want to be the cause of any sicknesses or deaths.
Absolutely. I mean, this stuff's, when no one realizes, when their litter hits the street, it gets washed down our sewer system. And when that does happen, and when we have a rain event, it gets washed out into our waterways. They have sort of a valve, these combined sewer overflows. So they go out into our waterways. So then animals and people end up seeing this litter, eating this litter. It's not safe.
We will drink this litter, guys, and so Councilman is right. We have to be more aware, because we think we're discarding things, but everything you discard is coming right back to you.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
What are some of the things that you'd like to see going on in your district that you haven't accomplished yet?
Well, we actually just funded solar panels on our first school.
Oh my God, amazing. Guys, this is awesome. He's the green councilman. I love it.
So we're going to have solar panels on 122. I want to see, I worked with Arabella Simotis.
Wonderful.
Who's
She's
amazing.
Great. We love, yes.
We're doing solar panels on Steinway Library. So I want to build a whole curriculum around it.
Yes. Councilman, the last 4 years have been amazing. We want to see you continue to do more. How can the community help?
There's an election November 7th. I encourage everybody to come out and vote. Have your voice heard. For me, I'll be running for re-election this year, but for all candidates. We should all be voting in every election. So I definitely encourage the community to come out. And we want to make sure there's a large Greek presence. Right? I mean, we want to make sure the Greek community comes out in droves for every election, because when you vote, government hears you. So make sure they definitely come out.
Well, we're going to be sure to do that. Guys, keep that on your calendar. What would you tell the audience? You're talking to the people of your community. What would you like from them as far as supporting being a neighbor here?
What are
some of the things you would like them to be doing?
I think there's a whole lot more we can do. I think we need to come together as a community to be greener. We've done things like geothermal technology, solar panels in our community, but there's so much more we need to do together, and we need to be in partnership. We need to keep improving our parks. We've been able to fund or done the construction on half of the park in our district, but we have to get to that other half, and we need to form parks groups. So whatever playground or park that you're near, whether it's Astoria Park or Ditmars Park or Woodtree Playground, or I can go on, but get involved with your local park. We need friends groups for our libraries. We've funded renovations at both our libraries. We need folks to help care for our libraries and do some extra work in our libraries. That only together can the neighborhood continue to be strong. I mean, I'm proud to represent this neighborhood. I love it. I've been here my whole life, but I want to do more.
Yes. You have done tremendous things, and we need to support. The neighbors have to come together. What are some of the things that they can do can they be cleaner? Can they throw things away? Can they be more aware? What would you like them to be aware of?
You know, we spend close to $200,000 a year on street cleanup. That's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. You can go to other things.
And I think we can, you know, if we are able to keep our neighborhoods clean together and keep it out of our waterways. And, you know, I think when it comes to our environment, teach our kids. Yeah. Make sure that, you know, climate change is real. If we don't do this work together, if we don't recognize that climate change is real and make sure the next generation has this, I mean, we're going to invest in our schools, but we need to have everyone on the same page. I think that's where we can really go and do some really big things together.
Where can someone get involved? If somebody wants to relay a message to you or somebody wants to help in some way, how can they get in touch with you, your office?
It's really easy. You can email me at costa@council.nyc.gov. And then you can also call my office, 718-274-4500. I read the email myself, so you'll get a response from me in the beginning, and I really want to make sure that folks, there's a reason for that. I want folks to know that I know what's going on in our community. If you contact me, you're going to speak to me first. And then my staff, who does a great job, will be able to follow up. But I want that direct connection. So I tell people to email me, let's start a dialogue. You know, we're doing participatory budgeting, how we spend $1 million in our neighborhood. Come out and be part of that process. And, you know, last year we were able to get solar panels and you know, technology for our libraries, lots of really good things.
Yes, and there's some sort of incentive with solar panels.
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's different ways to do it.
Tax breaks, if I'm not
oh,
mistaken.
Yeah.
And look into it, people. Councilman Constantinides has been doing great things. Let's all join him and do great things together. Support your neighborhood, support your councilman. Thank you so much for being here. And
thank you for having me. Thank you. I really appreciate your support and all the great stuff that you do. Keep doing the work that you do.
We're trying hard.